to my channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe and like button along with the notification bell so you know exactly when these videos are coming out. So let's go ahead and get started. We always got to start with the skin prep because that's what's going to determine whether or not your makeup's going to last all day or if it's going to bounce on your face. I've been obsessed with this Glossier Super Bounce Hyaluronic Acid lately. I have normal to dry skin, so I do pair it up with the Embryolisse, so I use that as the emollient on top, and it just makes my skin feel so dang juicy. Then, after I've completed my skin prep, I'm going to go right into the brows. You know exactly what I do. I still do my eyebrows like a millennial, so don't judge. But I'm going in with the Anastasia Dipbrow pomade in dark brown, and just kind of creating the shape, following the shape of my natural brows, and then streaking or just doing little streaks that mimic brow hair is what I want to say, and brushing that through. Then, you know, I always got to chisel out the brows, so I'm using the MAC Studio Finish in NW40. It's not too close to my skin color, but it is light enough to where you can see the chisel, but I guess dark enough to where you don't see that crazy halo line. And then I'm just kind of chiseling that out on both the bottom and the top of my brow. And then some people actually use foundation to do this because I honestly think that's a little bit better, but I've gotten so used to doing this method and I can just prevent haloing just by tapping it into the skin. So once I blend it into my skin, as you can see here, it looks pretty good. And also I do it before my foundation too, so the foundation adds that little additional blending. Now, I'm never going to let go of my Too Faced Shadow Insurance. It is, I feel like, the creme de la creme of all eye primers. It's a hot day, so I wanted to make sure that my eyeshadow is sticking where it is. I'm not like oily or sweating through my primer into the eyeshadow, making it look all gunky and clunky. So I start with this before I actually put down my concealer. So my concealer here that I'm using is the NW40, once again within the Pro Concealer Studio Finish Concealer from MAC. And I'm just using that just to color correct my lids because, you know, my eyes are a little dark. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge. And Colourpop is one of my favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes. And I'm starting with the Nude palette in the color Moody. And I'm using that as my crease color. I'm just kind of sweeping that across the crease and kind of blending it a little bit up into my brow bone as well. So that I can get that nice washy gradient of color. And you can see I'm just kind of sweeping it across the corners because I like a little dimension, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm going into my soft Glam palette from Anastasia in Cyprus Umber. That's a really interesting name, Umber. I want to say Amber, but Cyprus Umber, actually. I wonder what that means. And I'm just kind of going into a little tighter into the crease and sweeping it back and forth so that way I can create a little bit more depth. Then on the lid, as you can see, I'm just taking my finger. I'm using the Colourpop Nude, and the color here is Put on Heirs. Put on Heirs. 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 And I'm just kind of tapping that in. With my finger, you can get a lot of density out of the product. So I really appreciate using my finger sometimes. So I wanted to create like a little bit of a smoky eye. So I'm using the MAC Kohl powder eye pencil. I love this pencil. I actually used it for a Hindu wedding that I did for makeup application. And it just sweeps. It's really good if you want to smudge it, if you want to, you know, smear it, get that perfect smoky look. I actually really appreciate this pencil. So this is one of my top favorites to use. And then I'm just going in with a flat liner pencil and just kind of sweeping that out to the corner, creating a little bit of a cat eye, but I didn't want to do anything too sharp. So I definitely wanted something that was a little bit more smoky, a little bit more sultry, because I'm going for like a sexy, bronzy look. You know, today I was feeling it. I was feeling myself. I was like, I need sweepy, bronzy. Then next, I'm going into the Nars Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, but I also do mix it with a little bit of the Nars Soft Matte Foundation because, again, it's a little bit of a hotter day. And I noticed that the Macao colors in the Longwear foundation and the soft matte foundation, they're not the same, obviously, because they're a different formula. So I find that the soft matte foundation was a little bit lighter than it needed to be because, you know, I done tanned a little bit. So I was using the Longwear foundation in Macao on the outer rim of my face, and then in the middle I was using a little bit more of the soft matte. I have glasses. You know when you wear glasses and you get that dark mark on your nose? So I'm actually just taking a little bit of the Pro Conceal Peach, or I'm sorry, my highlighter color, just a little bit, and putting it on those dark marks that I have for my glasses, just so I can blend it in a little bit better. So I just kind of tapped it on there. I didn't do too much, as you can see. And then I'm going back around with the soft matte, the Nars soft matte foundation. You know, tapping it in. So I already have one side done off camera, but you know I love the usual method because I love my under eye to look super bright. I'm using the MAC Pro Studio Finish Concealer in NW40. So I'm mixing NW40 and NC42. So I'm using the NC42 just a little bit closer to my eye, closer to my under eye, and then I'm using the NW40 just for the remaining area, just to kind of give it a little dimension to brighten it up. Then I'm going into my forehead, you know, my usual highlighting scheme. Bringing it down the bridge of my nose, all the way to the tip, just to highlight the nose. A little bit of the chin, bring that forward a little bit. And I think I was listening to some music, had to be. And as you can see, I'm just adding the lighter color as well, just to kind of bring dimension. And then I'm also cutting that liner, or that smoky liner that I had created earlier, just so it looks a lot nicer. Then I'm moving on to the same type of concealer from MAC, the Pro Concealer palette, but it is the Studio Finish concealer. I like using this method. I'll use the NW55, and I actually use that as a cream concealer. Or not cream concealer, what am I talking about? Cream, like, contour. Sorry, cream contour is what I use for it. And so I'm just kind of patting that in the hollows of my cheeks. I'm going on my forehead, because I just like that look when the light actually hits. You know, I have a little bit of a bigger forehead. I have that little widow's peak, so I try to kind of balance everything out with my contour. I had to be listening to something. Probably I was listening to like Creme or something, because I have no clue why I was dancing right there. So I'm just using a flat but dense brush to kind of pat that in. You don't really want to move the foundation underneath, so I'm just kind of patting that into the hollows of my cheeks. And under my chin. I have a little bit of a longer chin. I have a more prominent chin, I should say, so I just try to cut that down a little bit. Or give you the illusion that it's cut down. I honestly don't think I was listening to nothing. I think what I was listening to was in my head. So now I'm just taking my beauty blender and I'm just blending it out. Honey, I'm just blending that out. Just very gently. Normally, I don't know what happened there, but normally what I do is I just lightly tap it. Just because, I mean, the beauty blender, that brand that I have, is very good in terms of not soaking up the product. But I tap it very lightly anyway, because I just want the product to stay on my face. That's it. I'd like it to soak up as the least amount of makeup as I can possibly get it to soak up. Because y'all ever had a beauty blender, especially like the cheaper ones, and it just takes all the product off your face? Not fun. And a waste of product too. So I'm just blending that out, talking to myself in the meantime, checking myself out. And then I'm After I have that all blended out, I'm going into the Huda Beauty setting powder. I don't know about y'all, but I've actually been liking it. I've been liking it. And this is in the color Kunafa. And as you can see, I just love as soon as you put it on, it just starts blurring. And as you can see, I don't put a lot on there. See the difference? I don't put a lot on there. I take a little bit on the tip of my beauty blender and I just press that into the makeup. I do not bake. I do not let it sit. And then after that, I just kind of want to define the contour a little bit more. So I actually use the Studio Finish by MAC. And it is in the color Darkest Deep. I think it's Deepest Dark, I think. And I'm using that just to kind of define and set the contour I did earlier. And then we're moving on to the MAC Powder Brush. MAC Powder Blush and Burnt Pepper. I just love this color on deeper skin tones. I use it all the time. It is my favorite. Then I like a little bit more of a subtle highlight, so I'm actually using the Smashbox-Shimmer Bronze Highlight. It's a little bit more subtle. I do enjoy it. Sometimes I don't like to shine bright like a diamond, but in the summertime, you want that nice summer kissed glow. You don't want that, you know, people can see you 10 miles away. You just want the sun to hit you just right. Then I'm going back in with the MAC Kohl pencil, and I'm just going into my waterline, and then I'm going to smudge that out. So I'm actually just going to kind of smoke it and smudge it on the bottom line. And see, I'm just taking an angle brush and just smudging it. I am so in love with these lashes lately. I don't care what anybody says. I love lashes from Walmart. So first I'm starting with the Milk Kush mascara, just so I can straighten my brows, my lashes. My lashes like to throw up gang signs all the time, so I do have to straighten them out before I actually put on lashes. So I'm just lifting, separating some more. And I'm actually putting it on the bottom lashes as well. Normally I don't do this step at the same time. Normally I'll do the lashes first and then I'll do that after, but I guess today I was feeling a little different. So I'm using the Duo glue. Love that glue. And as I'm putting the lash on, I'm actually going in at an angle. So it's kind of like you want the end of the lashes to be flipped up. Yep, and then there's Hubby because he's always interrupting. And as you can see, I'm just putting a little bit of glue, making sure to have glue on the ends. And again, flipping the lash, almost in your fingers, flipping the lash upward, the end of that lash upward, and then going into the lash line. I find that that's the best method when you're trying to put on lashes. And then adjusting as I go. So I use the tool there, the lash, I don't know what you call that, lash placer, and adjust it. And then my favorite part is actually curling the lashes once they're dry. This actually I feel like it kind of sticks the lash to your actual lashes. And it also kind of opens the eye a little bit more. So I'm just using my lash curler just to kind of solidify, seal the deal, and have my real lash and the fake lash kind of pressed together. Now you know me, I'm a chestnut girl, I'm a matte pencil girl. I will always be a matte pencil girl. I don't care what anybody says. And chestnut is my favorite color. I always use it on the outer part of my lips, just so that way I can define, or it's almost kind of like contouring for me. So no matter what color I'm using, a lot of times I do use chestnut just to line the lip area. I'm just slowly doing that. And making faces at the same damn time. And then, you know, I have to say this is one of my favorite lipsticks, is the MAC Liquid Lipstick. It's just the perfect red for deeper skin tones. I do think it looks really lovely on lighter skin tones as well. It's just that cool blue nude undertone for this lipstick is just amazing. I just love seeing it. I don't like warmer reds, but I'm just kind of filling in the areas and kind of blending it in with a pencil almost, because I do like that look when it's a little bit darker on the edges of my lip. I'm not really quite going for an ombre today, but I do like to kind of mix in the chestnut just so it can kind of give you a little bit of definition on the lips. And I will be honest, I had to put in a few coats. And then, you know, because it's summertime, we're going ahead and adding that setting spray, the all-nighter setting spray. And here is the final look. So I'm summer ready. I'm ready to go out. I'm ready to, you know, I don't know, go on a date. I don't know. Shoot, go on a date with my husband. Probably grab him after this. And there you have it. And you have your bronzy summer look. So, babes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I will see you in the next video.